Pick me to be a part of the greatest movement. In the middle of chaos, the thought is soothing. Confounding the wicked cause they targets moving. They only good at killing the sheep, but wait till they get what they reap. Weeping and gnashing the teeth for all of the evil they wreak. Every time truth we speak, the machine creaks as we launch attacks from beneath and patiently await their defeat. Wicked ones will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. The enemy will fail and fail hard. They don't think the people's in charge. We'll stand tall, we'll never fall, and we can't stop till it's freedom for all. Yo, I want everybody to check out Infowars.com. Support your man Alex Jones. He's fighting the good fight. Get your storable foods. Get your weapons. Learn how to live off the land, because it's about to go down.
Yeah. Yo, hey, what's going on?
Welcome friends, welcome enemies. What did we just listen to? That was a jabroni named Amp Killa.
Amp Killa.
Awesome.
Yep.
He travels in the same circuits as one at Payday Monsanto. I believe that track was Wicked Ones. Scraped it up off the YouTube.
Wicked Ones will fail. Yeah, Wicked Ones will fail. Good stuff.
Yeah, combined with graphic footage of violence at a European soccer game. It's always good. It's always entertaining.
Yeah, we're without without Mike Britt tonight, so you won't find out about sovereign citizenship probably.
Yeah. We don't have as much information for you this time around.
Yeah.
We got a lot of opinions and a lot of beers.
We got a lot of opinions, a lot of beers, and we got some funny stuff to talk about too, for sure. I don't know, what do you want to kick off with tonight?
I wanted to, we really should discuss what a lot of people are discussing, that WikiLeaks, this video from Iraq, from I believe it was from a suburb of Baghdad called New Baghdad, where they it was a couple of Reuters journalists. You all know what I'm talking about. They opened fire on this group of about 12 people. It seems pretty obvious to me that it was the indiscriminate killing of unarmed people. But we have... I was surprised to see that this video is actually defended by some of my liberal friends, my so-called liberal friends.
And ridiculously so.
Yeah, in a pretty ridiculous fashion.
It's defending the indefensible.
It's it's really no one. I mean, war is horrible. I mean, wouldn't you agree? I mean, like,
absolutely.
I certainly am not trying to say what those kids, and they are kids, by the way, what those kids should have done in that situation. But even you can, and we're going to play it for you later, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer on the Alex Jones Show. He's going to talk a little bit about exactly what rules were broken and exactly what crimes were committed. Because basically, according to this guy who would know, as soon as you open fire, and it's not a situation where you're directly under threat, you're supposed to sort of let the smoke clear, so to speak, and take stock of the situation and see what the hell just happened after you unloaded your serious artillery on these 12 people standing there on a street corner.
From your lofty gunship perch.
Yeah, but instead of that, they watched this guy crawl around bleeding to death. A Reuters journalist, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things
not an enemy combatant.
Right. One of the actual sort of defenses of this murder that we witnessed is, the guy could have been hiding a rocket launcher underneath his belly while he was crawling like a dog after being shot, bleeding to death.
And an RPG that was not there before or after, but it was under him when he was laying on the ground.
But what I found so remarkable about that defense of these actions, it's like, but it's determined that he's a fucking Reuters journalist,
right? Yeah,
so
exactly.
What was he, like, did he have a side gig as an Al-Qaeda terrorist?
Well, I don't and that's the other thing too. Let's just say, even though, you know, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute, and let's just say that the soldiers legitimately did think that these were enemy combatants or whatever, and they did have RPGs when they were walking around, so they opened fire on them. What's the justification for opening fire on the ambulance that shows up like 5 minutes later? Yeah, exactly. That to help these people. Yeah, with kids in it. What's the motivation for that? Like, did they, you know, like...
And that's the second point that Schaefer brings up. He basically says there's two very obvious and very undeniable breaches of like the code of conduct for warfare. And the one is when the guy's crawling around, obviously unarmed. You can even hear the kid, the brainwashed murderer on the video, say, "Come on, buddy, please just pick up a weapon so I have a reason to shoot you." Not let's call in the medics.
Right.
Not, you know.
Yeah.
No, please pick up. Like, that's what the fuck the guy was thinking during his last moments on this earth. He was wondering how he could pick up a rifle, fire it aimlessly at a Black Hawk helicopter, and I guess hope for the best. Hope to have hit in the gas tank with his one straight bullet.
Take him down with him.
But unbelievable, you know, what
and
the New World Order is doing to these kids over there.
And you know what's funny is that, like, I'm not really big on first-person shooting, like, war games. I'm more of, like, a third-person, like, you know, cartoonish action thing.
Yeah.
But when I was I have played them before. Like, people kept talking about the Call of Duty, you know, Modern Warfare, like, this game is great. And I did play, like, the first one, I think it was. And there actually are, like, scenes, like, levels in that game that look exactly like that.
Yeah. And if you think that's a coincidence, you're a sucker.
Yeah. Look, like, as I was watching that, I was, like, getting flashbacks of my own. Like, I think I've done this before.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm not one of those people who believes that all video games are a conspiracy to train you to be a soldier.
Right.
Because I have trouble seeing how, like, Wii Tennis was really training any soldiers or Mario Brothers did.
Right. I mean,
it's like any other medium. You're going to have the people who are there to use it for shitty purposes and the people who are just honest. You know?
I mean, and, you know, like, and there are games that are, you know, they're more fantasy-based games, like, last week we talked about Wet, and, like, you know, like, that's just, you know, like, that's crazy gun-toting, like, nonsense. That's not like war realism,
right?
You know, you know, so, like, even, you know, like, that's, maybe it's a kill simulator, so to speak, but I'm never going to be able to run up the side of a building while wielding 2 handguns and flip off the building and mow down like 15 guys. Yeah. I mean, you know, that would be cool, but I probably won't ever be able to do that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I remember hearing, like, when this war first started back in, like, 2003, they would interview soldiers, and they would talk about how it reminded them of when they would play video games. I remember a kid actually explained how he killed a guy, he dropped his weapon, another guy runs out from behind a wall or something, picks up the weapon, they mow him down, a third guy runs up, tries to pick up the fallen weapon, and they shoot him, which is right out of... Yeah, like... I mean, it's almost... I mean, it's sickening to think we're talking about, like, human lives, but it's like a computer glitch almost.
Right, yeah,
like,
exactly.
Really?
Yeah. I'm running up the point score. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like, it is, you know, they even have that game, that controversial, like, like 6 Days in Fallujah or whatever. Did you hear about that game?
I haven't heard about that.
Oh man, Jesus. These developers made this, like, completely accurate, like, reenactment of the siege of Fallujah, and, like, I don't think it's gonna get released because it like blew up, and, like, but it's, like, you know, painstakingly, and, like, at one point, because, you know, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Sure. And even though it was getting quote unquote bad publicity, I think, like, Konami or, like, one of the game companies is like, oh, this is already getting buzz, we should and then, like, people were like, what the fuck? So they backed off, and now nobody wants to pick it up, so I think it's getting dropped. But, like, they were gonna market this game to people, like,
kids,
you know, the kids, go play like you were in Fallujah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a trend that started about a decade ago. Started with the Medal of Honor. I think in earnest. I mean, they've been doing it for decades, but in earnest, it began with the Medal of Honor. Yep. Because that was an attempt to directly reenact, like,
World War II battles. And,
like Normandy Beach and what have you.
Yeah.
And pretty fucking sick, to be just frank with you. It's pretty sick.
And, like, that's the thing. Like,
it's fun, but it's fucking sick.
It is sick. And I actually had those thoughts, like, you know, like, while you're just having fun, sitting on your couch with no worries in the world, like, people actually died during these.